A faith that is more precious, which is actually probably a better translation, except it sounds a little like a grandma word, doesn't it? It's a word you got to be careful with. You tell somebody that they're so precious, it's almost like you're talking so far down to them that it's an insult. With a couple of exceptions. I have a neighbor that's a jeweler. He wears or hears the word precious. He doesn't think about grandma. I have another friend that's a blacksmith. He doesn't think precious is a grandma word. They think of metal. It's the way that Peter uses it. The jeweler, he thinks about metal, precious metal. He thinks about value, and purity, and beauty. There's a process that gold goes through. It's called refining. You don't just find precious gold in a mine. It goes through the fire. The gold that you find is filled with impurities, with gunk. It's called dross. You heat it up. The impurities rise to the surface and they're skimmed away. The gold itself doesn't change through the fire. The refining process. The stuff that makes it less valuable goes away. The blacksmith thinks about a similar process for iron, but he's not thinking so much about beauty and purity as he is strength and purpose. Iron also goes through a fire. That process is called tempering. Metal is heated up and held there in the fire and hammered and cooled, then heated again. Put under stress. Here's the beautiful thing about tempered metal, though. That process, tempering, creates strength in the metal by decreasing its hardness. Tempered steel is perfectly balanced. The midpoint between being so soft that it caves when it's put under pressure and so brittle that it'll crack or break when it's used. You want faith that's strong? When you find yourself in a world under pressure, or even in a fiery ordeal, you don't cave in, you don't get crusty and brittle, where you're tender and tough. You want faith that's resilient. Notice Peter says that's God's plan for you. But it's not just going to happen by accident.